What's going on, guys? It's Dave, and today we have my ban list. It's really more of a wish list than a prediction, I'm going to be honest. This is just kind of what I hope is going to happen to the upcoming format. And if you don't want your time wasted at all, here's a list. That's what I think. But if you want a little bit more of an in-depth explanation, that's what I'm going to go into real quick. So, starting off, we have Sanctifier Dragon. I'm going to be honest, branded's not really a problem, but the gimmick puppet lock is. That lock is just awful. It just basically says one player cannot play the game anymore, and I really hate locks like that, like specifically lingering floodgates compared to regular floodgates. I hate lingering floodgates, which is what Albion enables. So I just want that card banned. I don't really think anybody's going to hopefully argue with this. I mean, you could slide this in with like maybe the gimmick puppet card itself, but the problem is then there's like a bunch of other cards they can just swap to, like Ra's Disciple, Ido, the Supreme Magical Force. So I just want this card gone. And then Calamities, just because it's just another turn skip card. It's just a lingering floodgate. Centurion has new support on the way that's really good, so they could play without this card. Yeah, it's a hit to them, but like, who wants this card in the game? Nobody. Moving on to the limits, we have Ash and Wanted. I don't think they're going to do both. I think they're just going to give Fire a slap on the wrist. But again, being a wish list, this is what I hope is going to happen. I don't even think this would be enough to stop the deck, but it's by far the best deck. It's tier 0, and I just want to see the deck reined in a little bit so other decks have a better chance to compete. Title, I mean, all the other Dragon Rulers came off. This will be fine. Magis Spector Kieran, I really want this card to go to 1. I'm not going to lie. Magis Spector got its new support, and it's doing literally nothing. I don't even think this card would change that, but it would at least give the deck a little bit more power. So hopefully they bring that card off. Prosperity and Fenrir are just because these cards are so generically powerful. A lot of them are played in a ton of decks. Maybe not right now, but definitely in the future. And they have seen an egregious amount of play in the past. And the Fire decks is even siding or mating Fenrir. So these are just two cards that have just seen so much play and have just been everywhere that I feel like they're going to probably get limited. Moving on, we have Summon Limit and Anti-Spell. This is just keeping in line with what Konami did with Goes in Match, Rivalry, all of those other floodgates that they've done, Tikaboo, where they, for some reason, like to limit them instead of just outright banning them, which, in my opinion, I'd just rather them ban them. But if we're going to go with Konami's logic, I think they'll probably get limited. And then moving on, this is why I call this more of a wish list for these last 3 cards. I have Thunder Dragon Colossus, Windup Carriers in Mighty, and Dimension Shifter at 1. Dimension Shifter is just because it's a lingering floodgate. Personally, if I could, I'd like this card banned, but as Konami does, as you see with these other floodgates, they usually like to limit floodgates for some reason. So I think if they do hit the card, it's going to get limited, which is why I have it here. I don't think it's going to happen, but again, hence why this is a wish list. That's what I hope is going to happen. And then these two bad boys. Windup Carriers in Mighty has been legal at 3 in Master Duel and at least 1 or more copies in the OCG, and it has done nothing. And in Master Duel, I believe they also even have Hunter legal, which, by the way, if for this card to come off, if you wanted to argue that Windup Hunter should be banned, which is the one that rips cards, I would be totally okay with that. As it stands right now, Windups literally have nothing. The deck is unplayable. This would at least allow the deck to attempt to play at 1, and even though I don't think the Hunter loop would be a problem, if you think banning that to allow this card to come back would be fair, I would totally understand it. And then Thunder Dragon Colossus. I won't lie, I'm kind of biased here. Thunder is my favorite deck of all time, but hear me out. Every other Eternal Format card, almost every other Eternal Format card from that slaughter list has come off. Mirage Stalio is back, Engage is at 2, and Gazelle is at, he's either at, I don't know, Gazelle's at multiple copies, and Harpo is back at 1. Colossus is one of the last ones to come back. And yes, he has a floodgate, but remember, I specifically said I don't like lingering floodgates, as in floodgates that when it's activated, there's nothing you can do about it. They are there the rest of the turn. Colossus you can deal with once he's already established. And, like I said before, for some reason, Konami loves leaving floodgates limited. So if Anti-Spell, Summon Limit, Gozen, Tikaboo, and a couple of the other floodgates are okay at 1, I think it's completely fine for Colossus to come back to 1, and I don't think it would have a huge impact on the meta. Then the semi-limits, we have Harpo and Change of Heart. Harpo, I think, is just them. I think this is just going to happen. Like, it went to 1 and then the deck did nothing. Change of Heart's a little bit more controversial, but I personally like when they bring more cards off the list. Like, there's a couple more cards here I wish I might have put, like, maybe Heavy Storm and some other stuff, because I really like just seeing cards come back into the game. I just think it adds a lot more fun to the game. And that's why I'm moving Change of Heart from 1 to 2. Maybe it's too good, but again, I just like to see more cards come off. And then to 3, we have Terratop and Pegratops. These both went to 2. Haven't really done that much. I think they can both come to 3. So yeah, that's pretty much my ban list prediction wish list. It's more of a wish list, really, because of a couple cards on here. But that's what I'm hoping to see happen. Let me know what you guys think will happen to the list in the comments below, and subscribe. See ya.